Beyoncé and Jay-Z just got pulled into Diddy's legal mess, and the streets are buzzing. Word is, Diddy's legal team allegedly has no problem throwing the Carters under the bus to save their client. Now, people have been saying Diddy's team is willing to sacrifice anyone to stay out of trouble, but no one expected Jay-Z to get caught in the crossfire, especially this early in the game. But here's the real tea. Whatever is supposedly on those tapes is allegedly so bad that Beyoncé isn't waiting around to see how it plays out. The rumor? She's considering divorcing Jay-Z over it. So now everyone's asking, what's on those tapes that has Queen Bey ready to walk away? Because it must be something deeply disturbing for her to even consider cutting ties. If you've been following the saga from the beginning, you already know Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been connected to Diddy for years. Jay and Diddy were so tight that Diddy once said Jay-Z was one of only 2 people allowed to call him by his real name, Sean.
Only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling.
Now let's talk about the real tea, because it's not just Jay-Z catching heat in Diddy's mess. Rumors are swirling that Beyoncé might have known a little something about Diddy's shady business too. But while most of the focus has stayed on Jay, insiders say Queen Bey might be done playing the supportive wife. Word on the street is that Beyoncé is sick and tired of Jay-Z's constant drama making her look bad, and she's planning to cut ties quietly, especially now that Blue Ivy's career is on the rise. Bey isn't about to let Jay's mess drag her or their daughter down. Let's not forget, Jay-Z's shadow already loomed over the premiere of Mufasa, Blue Ivy's debut film. Meanwhile, Blue has been tearing up the stage on Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter tour, earning massive praise. There's even buzz that Blue might be dropping music of her own soon. So with all this momentum, Beyoncé doesn't want Jay's name tainting her baby girl's moment. Period. Insiders claim she's already making low-key moves to separate, keeping it quiet to avoid the public mess. And let's be honest, love her or not, Beyoncé has always kept her personal life tight. If she's leaving Jay-Z, she's not about to air it all out in front of the world. Sources say her strategy is similar to what Will and Jada allegedly pulled, staying legally married while quietly living separate lives. Beyoncé is reportedly planning to hold off on announcing anything until Diddy's trial wraps and her tour is over. Then we might get one of those "we've been apart for a while, just focusing on the kids" kind of statements. And she'll keep it moving. Honestly, that's a smart play. She keeps her image intact, looks like the devoted wife who didn't know a thing and avoids the drama. And when the headlines do hit, she can flip the narrative in her favor like a true power move. Let's be real, the Bey has been begging her to leave Jay for years. Between the cheating scandals, the elevator incident with Solange, and all the whispers over the years, this would be the perfect time to walk away. And it's not like people haven't questioned their whole relationship from the start. Don't forget, when they first met, Jay-Z was nearly 30 and Beyoncé was still a teenager. Fans have long side-eyed their age gap. In one interview, Beyoncé said, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." But here's where it gets shady. In a 2007 interview with Charlie Rose, Jay-Z said he met Beyoncé 10 years ago, which would place their first meeting around 1997, meaning she would have been about 16 years old, and he around 27 or 28. That timeline? Yeah, fans were not feeling it. Even though they didn't start dating until she was legal, the whole situation still comes off sus when you look back. So it's really no surprise that people paint Beyoncé as the victim here. A grown man pushing 30 getting close to a teenage girl? That's always going to raise eyebrows. And whenever Jay-Z gets dragged, Beyoncé somehow stays untouched, floating above the chaos. People treat her like she's too perfect to ever be involved in anything shady. But let's not act like there haven't been whispers for years about her pulling strings behind the scenes, allegedly using her influence to block opportunities for other artists, protect her image, and control the narrative. Still, she gets a pass time after time, while Jay takes all the heat. Things really started heating up last year when blogger Storm Monroe dropped some serious claims. According to his sources, Beyoncé has been quietly laying the groundwork to leave Jay-Z and has been planning her exit strategy for a while now. She's been playing the long game. And if what's rumored to be on those Diddy tapes is really as bad as insiders claim, this might be the final straw. Beyoncé is not about to let years of careful branding and her kids' futures get wrecked by whatever her husband's been involved in. One thing's for sure, if and when she finally makes the move, she'll do it on her terms, and the world will be watching.
But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time."
The Beehive was living for the idea that Beyoncé might finally be cutting ties with Jay-Z, especially after blogger Storm Monroe dropped some scorching tea about Jay possibly being caught up in major legal drama. And no, this isn't just another messy celeb headline. We're talking Diddy-level secrets that could shake the entire industry. Storm's claims had the internet in a frenzy, but let's be real, he wasn't the first to sound the alarm. That credit goes to Jaguar Wright, who called this way back, right after Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy made headlines. Jaguar jumped in with a bold warning. Jay-Z is next, and big moves were already in motion to expose his allegedly shady dealings. Now, it looks like those puzzle pieces are finally falling into place. That tight bond between Jay-Z and Diddy suddenly feels a little too convenient. You know what they say, birds of a feather flock together. And with whispers suggesting that Jay's skeletons might actually be darker than Diddy's, the whole situation is getting seriously chilling. Let's not forget, Diddy is already knee-deep in disturbing allegations, so the idea that Jay could be hiding even worse secrets, terrifying. It really makes you wonder what some of these celebs are up to when the cameras stop rolling. For years, people brushed Jay-Z off as just another unfaithful celebrity husband, cheating on Beyoncé of all people. Remember Becky with the good hair? That was just the tip of the iceberg. Rumors have long suggested there's a whole lineup of women he's messed around with. So if Beyoncé really is plotting her exit, no one's shocked. But here's where it gets wild. The final straw for Beyoncé might have been discovering that Jay-Z and Diddy allegedly recorded her without her knowledge. Even worse, word is her tape was among the ones the feds seized during the raid on Diddy last year. Now there's a very real chance it could leak. Jaguar Wright hinted at this last year, claiming a compromising tape of Beyoncé exists and that she had no idea she was being recorded.
Because the Diddy. Oh! Diddy done turned over tapes. Allegedly, with the Carters, in some freak off. And the Beyoncé. How on the and the tapes had jizz all over it. Hold on.
According to her, the entire incident was carried out in secret, with a hidden camera capturing everything without Beyoncé's knowledge. This claim was supported by attorney Ariel Mitchell-Kidd, who stated that she had been approached by another client seeking her help to broker the sale of a tape. The footage allegedly featured one of the most prominent celebrities in the industry, and Ariel asserted the star was clearly unaware they were being recorded.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
Yes.
the shopping thing is.
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before. So like a catching.
Correct.
Wow. Can you? And I guess you can't reveal the person who is on.
No, I
this
can't
tape.
explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it? Or
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay. You can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is graphic in nature.
Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home, at
Okay.
a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participants in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded.
Yeah, this is incredibly invasive. And if Beyoncé ends up divorcing over it, it's hard to imagine anyone blaming her. It's definitely a messy situation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out the next video.